gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Are you ready to pop your cork? In the left corner at 6'4", 242 pounds, with a record of 45-0, the undisputed.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Will.
Hey, how many bottles of wine have you had?
Well, Will, it's not the wine. I'm just so excited about the podcast.
Yeah, I am too. This is not a boxing match. This is We Know Texas Vino.
All right. Hi, guys. Good to have you back. Andy, nice to see you, my friend.
Welcome back, boys.
Yeah, we have the wino guy in the house tonight. Literally in the house, Will.
Literally in the house. In our secret bunker.
Well, we call it our secret bunker, but we'll disclose to all of our listeners that is actually my home. We're in my home tonight.
We don't want to do that because we have groupies that might come
we don't want them all camping out in front of your house.
We have wino guy here, so we're in big trouble now. So, well, it's good to see you boys. I know it's been fun, and I know we've kind of been talking about this episode a little bit. Episode 51, by the way, and it's just an awesome. It's been a great run, but we're going to do something uniquely different tonight.
This is a special episode.
And one of the reasons we're grateful to have Andy here, actually the wino guy, is because we're going to do some tasting tonight. We'll have you introduce what we're tasting, but we have the wino guy here, like a real proficient authority when it comes to wines and how we taste them and appreciate them.
Wine, not cookies? Oh.
Well, you're going to introduce the second part of it, right?
Okay.
So, Will, tell us about your brainstorm and what we're doing here tonight.
So, if everybody knows what month this is actually Girl Scout Cookie Month. And you know how everybody loses their freaking mind over Girl Scout cookies.
They're pretty good.
I mean, it's literally legal crack.
Yes.
Wow. Am I wrong or what? I mean,
they're pretty good.
They're legal crack.
Yes.
And it's sanctuarized by not only the United States government, but also by the Girl Scouts.
Right.
And so we had one of the ladies that I work with has two daughters that sells Girl Scout let's start this again.
Girl Scout cookies.
That sells Girl Scout cookies. Yeah. And I've only had one glass of wine, by the way.
Right.
And she said, wouldn't it be awesome if y'all did a Girl Scout cookie and wine pairing?
So what is her name? What's her name?
Her name is Susan.
So shout out to Susan because she came up with this idea and you stole it.
Yes, I stole it.
Okay.
And we're gonna capitalize on it as much as possible.
Wow. So today, if we titled this episode, would we call it the Girl Scout Cookie Extravaganza?
I guess we could call it that. I mean, I like the Girl Scout Cookie and Wine Experience.
Okay, that's not bad either.
The Texas Wine and Girl Scout Cookie Experience.
Okay.
Let's get some wine in this and some cookies, and let's get sugared up and alcoholed up, and we'll figure it out from there.
That sounds good. And then, Andy, you're here, and you're going to kind of be running us through this here real quick because we're actually going to be doing what today, Andy?
So what we're going to be doing is this. The plan is that we will drink the wine that we have. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the wine first.
Beautiful.
And actually, I think it would be fun if Will, kind of like you did with gin, we don't actually tell what kind of grape it is until we drink it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if that's going to work or not because between being alcoholed and sugared up, I don't know if my brain's going to work.
Well, that's why we're doing this episode. It was also an experiment.
Then X-nay on the non-say-nay.
There we go.
Okay.
Well, awesome.
So our first wine we're going to be doing today, every wine we're going to do is I'm going to tell you about the wine. I'm going to tell you the content, what it's made of, how it kind of works. And then we're each going to taste cookies. And we have how many?
Six
cookies.
And I'll describe the cookies.
Yes. And then we'll taste and drink and taste and drink and decide. Now, I think here's what's funny. Can you go ahead and tell us what what kind of cookies we do have first of all?
Before we jump that far ahead, let's go ahead and give a shout out to the girls.
Yeah, the Girl Scouts.
The Girl Scouts who gave us these cookies here.
Well, tell us who those young ladies are.
We want to thank Lexie from Troop 18 and Charlotte from Troop 1032. So we want to give them thanks for that.
So what you're telling me is Girl Scouts, I'm going to guess their ages are between probably 9 and 12.
Something like that.
Do you think they're listening to our podcast?
If they're not, the moms are.
Okay, I hope so. Well, shout out to them, but we want to honor their families, of course. Just let them know that we're very grateful for that. I think they tossed in a couple extra boxes of cookies for you, Will.
Yeah. You mean boxes of crack.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, then one more thing before we get going. Just, Will, we have a lot of places to reach out to us. You've done a great job with the website. I know Andy's been helping out with that a little bit apparently as well. And so we want to talk about the website and kind of our social platforms.
Yes. So go out there and check out weknowtexasvino.wine.
Yes.
I have, in the last couple of days, I have bumped a lot of hours into it and done a lot of redirection and rewriting to the website. So go out there and take a look at it and just give us some general general feedback of what you think about it.
Give us a website address one more time.
It's WeKnowTexasVino.wine.
Beautiful.
Not .com.
Wine.
.wine.
I love it.
Now, I will go ahead, just for the people who are used to doing .com, I may go ahead and buy it and redirect it just to have it there just in case.
Okay, well, that's beyond my pay grade. So if you want to do that sounds good. That sounds real good. Awesome.
And then, of course, have everybody need to go up to our Facebook page that We Know Texas Vino.
Right.
And then find us on Spotify or Apple Podcast at We Know Texas Vino. And give us a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
Because and actually found out the other day, Spotify actually does ratings now also on podcasts.
Okay.
So we are actually at 4.7 on Spotify.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I have not been over there. Check that out.
Yeah.
And then I think just real quick, let's just hit our sponsors and our partnerships real quick because we have some good, and we have another fun one we're going to talk about in a minute.
We want to talk about it tonight or toward the end? Or
let's do it now. Let's just do it now just in case we have too much sugar.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to do the announcement?
Yeah, I'll do it. So Texas Wine Club down in Fredericksburg, thank you guys for all you've done. And it's been a great partnership. And just we're really proud of what they're accomplishing down there. It's going to be huge in the state of Texas and beyond as they perfect what they're doing and get some great Texas wines out to the communities around the state and beyond. Okay. Texas Wine Lover app. We love those too as well. In fact, we're going to see them here in a couple of weeks. It's going to be fun having the Godfather and Wonder Woman in town. And then, of course, all their amazing ambassadors. It'll be fun to see them. So thank you guys for all you do and the promotions and just really an advocate for what we're trying to accomplish. Flywithwine.com. Our newest sponsor, of course, solving wine problems and dilemmas with those great suitcases. And I had a friend last night show me one. He had a 10 bottle case, which was pretty cool. Yeah, 10 bottle. We have a 12 bottle case, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Case. And then our great friend Andy Gonzalez with the Wino Guy promotions, and of course all the things he's doing. And that leads into our experience we have coming up pretty soon. Will, why don't you elaborate on that?
So we are going to be doing a We Know Texas Vino wine experience. And so basically what we're going to be doing is doing a compare and contrast of Texas wine and old world wine. Now, we're not going to tell you what wines we're going to have.
Right. That's a secret.
You're going to have to come and actually find out what it is.
Yes.
And tickets are selling
blind
fast.
Tasting.
Yeah, yes, it is a blind tasting.
Yeah.
And tickets are selling fast. We're down to 19?
Yeah, and we think we have a group that might purchase all of those. So this thing could be sold out sooner than later. But please, if you're going to do this, if you hear this podcast, get on to WeKnowTexasVino.wine and purchase those tickets as fast as possible.
Yep. And they're going for $55 a piece.
That's right.
So so now, do we want to talk about the good stuff?
Well,
do you want to do it or you want to do it?
No, let's go ahead and do our episode, and then we'll finish with the really cool stuff that we just learned. Yep. And then we'll do my quotes and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be fun. All right.
Okay, let's do that.
Well, guys, we're glad to have you here, and it's just going to be a lot of fun to our listeners. We're having a great time tonight. We're all smiling, and we're all having fun, and I'm not wearing socks. I'm in my bare feet. We just took a walk outside to show Andy my backyard, and I went barefooted because it's just so beautiful out tonight. You got to love Texas in February.
Song.
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go. Why don't we go and do it?
Okay, we're going to start with a white wine.
Okay.
We're going to start with a Chardonnay. This is a Chardonnay it's called an American wine because if a Texas wine maker doesn't use Texas fruit, it's called an American wine. So just so you know, we're using Landon Chardonnay American wine.
Okay.
So now we're going to all taste the wine, which, by the way, you could probably already smell what. Will you go first with what you smell?
I smell glass.
Okay, good.
No, hold on a second.
Would you say, let's just do it this way, make it keep it real simple, not too many big words, but so do you feel it's a more of a
it's definitely
fruity, or do you think it's more of a like a European style fruit smell?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say fruit. I mean, I definitely get a full buttery smell. I mean, just because I'm not a Chardonnay fan, so I'm doing it just for the test here and the experiment.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely a buttery smell that I get.
Yeah, and I'm the same. I got the buttery part of it, but also it smells to me a little drier. I don't know why, but probably less fruity, I would say, if I were to describe it.
And the reason is they use French oak barrels, and they used new oak, plus they use old French oak. So it gives a little bit of the pineapple for me, maybe even a banana kind of peel smell.
Well, I don't get pineapple. I don't get the banana at all.
Well, okay, now we're going to go ahead and taste, and we're going to start the cookie process.
All right.
Okay, so which cookie we're going to start first?
So let me tell about cookies real quick. Should I do a cookie?
Yes. Yeah, talk about the cookies that do you want to do one at a time?
The cookie. Here we go. The cookie recon. Here we go. The first one, or maybe not the first one, but we have the tagalongs. Okay, and that's the tag. It's a peanut butter. It looks like peanut butter and crispy cookie layered. The second one we're going to have is going to be the Thin Mints. I think there's about 190 million people in this country addicted to those.
Yes. Again, that's cracking a box.
And that's a rough estimate, by the way, 190 million, right? We also have the trefoils. Those are iconic shortbread cookies inspired by the original Girl Scout recipe. So we have the trefoils.
Yes.
Yes.
And those are always good.
Those are fantastic, especially when you're drinking wine and you just want a little snack and you eat a whole sleeve of them. Okay, now maybe I'm disclosing too much. We also have, these are fun because I'm a huge peanut butter fan, but the Do-si-dos.
Yes, those are my favorite ones.
Yeah,
yes,
those are your favorite.
Yep.
Okay, and those are really fun. They've had those for a few years.
Now these right here.
Now these ones are our crack.
This right here, I will sell my firstborn child. I will sell my house, sell my car. I will sell everything for these things right here.
Andy, are you? No, I don't think secondborn, but I would not sell my firstborn.
First.
Yes. So these are, and most of the listeners know what I'm about to say, but these are the Samoas, which are incredible. And I'm a huge coconut fan. My wife does not like it. I don't think Andy likes coconut.
Nope.
But
for this, you're going to do it right.
But like Chardonnay.
Take one for the team.
Will, like Chardonnay, Will's going to do a Samoa tonight. And then the last one we're going to do is actually something I love. Actually,
my favorite.
Yeah, they're your favorite.
These are pretty good.
I actually bumped into a couple young ladies who were selling cookies at the grocery store about 2 weeks ago, and I bought one, and it was this one. It was the Lemon Ups. So it's a really nice crispy lemon flavored cookies with inspiring message to lift your spirits, Will and Andy. Okay. So those are our cookies. So where do you want to start today, sir?
My recommendation is that we should probably, with this particular one, I think we should try the Lemon Up.
I was going to say we should do something real simple and easy and then work our way up to the complex ones, like the Samoans is the last one.
So how do you want to do it? So a little sip of wine or to eat first, right?
Bite first, just a little bite.
A little bite.
Just a nibble.
So while chewing
here's crunching on the waves. Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I was kind of concerned about the sugar content, but you could tell it does take away the fruitiness from the wine.
Oh, wow.
It does.
That actually made me want to drink Chardonnay now.
No, that's good, wasn't it?
You know what? And this is amazing what Will just said.
It is.
It makes me want to drink Chardonnay now because what it does, it takes away that malolactic flavor profile, which is buttery Chardonnay. Because why? The butter is in the cookie.
Yep.
So the butter in the cookie takes away the butterness, the buttery flavor from the Chardonnay.
So when you when you do any kind of pairing, that's the way you think it through.
Right.
You pair it to the wine, not to the food.
Right. And so it literally cancels that taste. And so, that's cool. So we'll probably have a few more of those. I'm excited about.
So now we're going to go to the trifold.
Okay. So those are the trifolds. And we're going to try that real quick and take a little bite of the trifold. And then we will take a little sip of our Chardonnay. So Will's going for it first. And I think we should, two of us take a bite. And then the third one just kind of, that's good. Go ahead and finish up because I don't want dead air, of course. So Will, you're first. Why don't you tell us what you think? I'll have Andy go second, and then I'll go third.
Ooh, yeah, no, I don't think the trifolds go with the Chardonnay at all. I mean, it's completely. It changed the balance of it to like a really heavy acid.
So
wine.
the first one, that lemon one, though, did kind of was a compliment. But then, and Andy, Andy's shaking his head. He's shaking.
Well, yes, no. There's too much sugar in the cookie, which takes away not only the flavor because of the butter that's also in this cookie, but also the sugar content takes away any kind of fruitiness that was in the wine.
Yep.
And I didn't think it was too bad. That might be my weakness. I didn't think it was horrible. So I could probably
jacked up pellets.
I could probably do those and drink Chardonnay. So I'm pretty cool with that. So so our third one then, Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, what's our third one?
Okay. I think we should do, because I'm afraid to be eating all these cookies.
For our listeners, just to describe.
So I think we should do the chocolate one should be last.
Yes.
And I think we should do the
peanut butter.
The peanut butter Do-si-dos.
Or because I think the coconut will work with the pineapple kind of banana.
Well, so the Samoans actually have nougat on the inside of them too.
What's nougat?
So it's
no, it's
Snickers.
a cookie, like a cookie.
Yeah, like Snickers. Snickers has the nougat in the middle.
I never thought about it. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the Samoans have inside of it. So it's got
to. Is going to buy some Trix bars tonight. Yeah. So nougat. Okay. You have nougat. So Andy, you choose. Which one are we doing third?
Then no, that's okay. Let's do the peanut butter.
Okay, peanut butter. Okay.
What's it called again?
What? Do-si-do. Andy, you go first on this one.
Go ahead and do it.
So he's taking a bite of the Do-si-do. He's heading for the wine now. Oh, he likes the cookie.
Yeah, he was nodding his head on that. He liked that. Got a little excited. He actually dribbled on himself a little bit.
I'll go second this time.
That pairs the best, I think. Wow. You're going to be, wow.
Okay, just a sip, not a gulp.
I agree with that. That's really good. That was not
really
bad
good.
at all.
All right.
So
That shocks the heck out of me.
I'm interested to hear like the chemical reaction that's going on there, because we know that it canceled the butter from the first one, but this one did something. It almost complemented the peanut butter.
Well, peanuts and oil also part of this concept here, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what he says first.
Will's over there contemplating life.
So what do you think, Will?
You know, it doesn't have the same reaction to me like the lemon cookie did. I mean, the lemon cookie, man, it changed my mind about Chardonnay. I mean, I'm not going to lie that
I love
this
that.
one I hear is good.
Yeah. Well, at the end, we'll have to like vote for sure.
Your button's not pushed. Oh, you're orange. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got
so
this.
So I think that
I think it's. I mean,
that was my favorite. I don't know about you guys. That was my favorite so far.
It has a balanced taste.
All right.
How about 3 cookies per wine?
No,
Come on, man.
I think we should go ahead and do every one of them.
Take
Let's
some
go.
more bites.
Okay, go next.
Okay,
All right.
so you're next.
So no. Well, I'm gonna have you choose the cookie though. We're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna do my favorite.
Okay, we're going to do the
Samoas.
Samoas.
Okay, so
Now,
Samoas.
why'd you have to take it? Yeah, why'd you have to wait until Michael goes first?
No, that's all right. Andy's going
Go ahead.
first. All right. So
Yeah, go ahead. Get you out of the way there, so we know you hate it. Keep going. So right now they are fixing to dribble wine on themselves while they're.
Another one that is okay. My favorite is the peanut butter, but the Samoa and the nougat,
Yeah.
I think affects the way the finish is on this Chardonnay.
Really?
I was hoping that this one would be the top choice because I am so in love with the Samoas.
Well, I guarantee you there'll be a top choice when we hit the reds.
Yeah, well, that's true enough. So go ahead and we'll try yours and then tell us your thoughts on that. But I agree with Andy. I think my favorite one is the peanut butter. As I smack my
What's
lips,
the peanut butter called again?
that's the do-si-do.
I've never had one. This is the first time in my life I've had a do-si-do. Now, I heard they're new.
They're not that new.
No. Did you not do do-si-dos in grade school and gym?
Well, do-si-dos, yes,
A little bit of TMI there, so I'll
Right.
just refrain.
but I bet they've been out 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, I've been buying these
I'm
a
talking
long
about
time.
square dancing in high school.
Me too.
Well, we know we got your
I
joke.
knew what you meant.
Yes. So
You know,
what do you think? Will?
I'm actually kind of. I don't know what to think because to me the minute it hit the front of my palate, it had a really good bold flavor, but then when it kind of went to the back to the finish, it kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
It kind of had a little tarty taste.
Oh, it didn't do tardy. I'm with you on that. It did change something to the backside of that. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
But it wasn't tardiness at all. But it was some sort of. It just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah,
So, and I thought it would because it's my favorite. So, which one are we gonna do next year then?
I guess
I think we should do the one that's not a
Tag-alongs.
Thin Man.
It's a tag-along.
the tag along.
Tag-along?
Yeah,
Yeah,
What
so
is the tag-along?
So
What
tag-alongs,
is that?
real quick, as you are pouring some more wine, is a crispy cookie layered with peanut butter and covered with chocolate coating.
Oh, it's chocolatey.
It's chocolatey. It'll be chocolatey. So it's basically a peanut butter cup, in my opinion, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No. This right here is the
Now, what's
tag
the
along.
difference then?
The other one has a
the other one
cookie.
is a mint.
No. He's talking about the peanut buttery.
Oh, that one right there. That's the tag along right there.
Did you already try the tag along?
He's cheating over here.
So
Well, I'm cheating only because I want to get a little bit of a head start,
All
so
right.
I
You
can
can't
let
do
my
that.
palate
You have to do it all
let
at
my
the
palate
same
adjust.
time.
Why
But
don't
it's
you-
okay.
well, Andy, why don't you start that one then? So that's the tag along.
Let Will start.
Will, you want to start tag along?
okay.
Will's going to tag along,
But I'm
folks.
ready.
I don't tag along, but I'll tag along.
And so this is good, boys and girls, because we're munching on cookies. This is so much fun. I have plates prepared for everyone with cute little cookies, and we all have like a bite out of all these little cookies.
Well, Andy, you got to take a bite all the way to the center because the center has peanut butter right in the middle of
We'll
it.
drink your wine and then tell me what you think. So Will is now tasting his Chardonnay as he has already had. Ooh, he liked that. Tell us, Will.
No, that was the finish on that was really tart. It had a really tart finish on it for me. So I'm not a big fan of tartness. I mean, it wasn't like heavy on like green apple tart, but it definitely had a tart finish.
Yeah, for me too. It it affects the finish.
Yep.
I think that's something different than the do-si-dos. So the whatever it is, there's something else in there, but it tastes like oh, you know what it is? It's the chocolate. It's the milk chocolate with the
Yeah.
peanut
Oh,
butter.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting when we get to the Thin Mint now.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't mind it. I actually really enjoyed that. So I don't know, Andy, if there's just different palates and different taste buds and all the things, but I thought that was not bad. That's probably in my top 3 so far.
Well, I'm going to tell you, there technically, from a scientific point of view, yes, there are different taste buds. Matter of fact, most people, meaning you take the bell curve and you take the middle of the bell curve, most people from a DNA perspective, genetics perspective, don't perceive the taste and smells that the outliers do. So there are some outliers that can taste and smell things that they don't want to and they don't like it.
Right.
But then there's the other ones. It's kind of like what I do, which is I'm born. Luckily, my mom was an amazing nose, and my grandmother was an amazing nose, and cooks and so forth. But you can also learn this, and this is what we're doing tonight.
Yeah.
So when you at home are doing this, take your Chardonnay from California, for example. And as Will pointed out, it's buttery and creamy, which means it has malolactic fermentation. It's also fermented and aged in oak, which makes a big difference. So,
there you go. And so And so we have one more cookie, guys. And Andy, I think this is
going to be interesting. This one's going to be very interesting.
Well, Will, what's your prediction on this? Do you think you'll like it or dislike it?
Well, I mean, I've been watching him and the looks on his face that he takes when he eats these.
Especially when he had that first.
I'm starting to have a little disappointment in Andy.
I'm going to start calling him Dosido after that reaction.
When he ate the tag-along, I was pretty upset about it, because, I mean, that's one of my favorite cookies.
Yeah, well.
But I'm not a coconut dude.
Well, no, the tag-along was the...
We have to teach Andy the cookie names.
Yes.
He's all confused.
These are my favorite. Throw it in the freezer, pop the chocolate off of it, and then you scoop the...
Seriously?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, thin minted, my friend.
Here we go.
Thin
minted.
Andy and Will, take your thin mint.
These thin mints are not frozen, folks.
Right, and so here they go.
Well, first of all,
they're good.
I love thin mints, and as Will pointed out, best way to do it, put them in the freezer, and then, oh my gosh. So,
well, I agree.
Let's see. Here we go.
Okay, so both these boys are putting wine into their mouths to test that. All right, here we go.
Well, you know what's really crazy?
Oh.
This one actually affected my bouquet, the nose of it when I ate it, because when you're eating a cookie, when you're eating food, you're doing the same thing you do with wine. You're noticing things. Right? And so for me, it's a thumbs down. That's not going to work for me.
I'm going to say that I literally about to reach over there and grab the rest of that cookie and eat that.
That was
right
good. I'm the opposite of Andy on this one. I was the same with the Dosido, but this one was nice. Maybe it reminds me, though, of getting a box of the Thin Mints, right? And going home
I'm just going to suck
with a bottle of wine with my wife. And we have more. Yeah, you bought a bunch of them. So, okay, well, we're good. So we experienced the Chardonnay with all 6 cookies. And Will, what was your favorite, my friend? With not the favorite cookie, but the favorite with our Chardonnay.
So actually, with the Chardonnay was the lemon drop and the Thin Mints.
Okay, all right.
First and last one.
First and last, okay. And then Andy, did you have a favorite cookie with Chardonnay?
My favorite was this one. What's that called?
That's
again?
a shortbread, yeah. So
I'm not really good with these.
The trifold.
Because if I have these at home, I will sit down literally and eat the whole box.
Well, there's a great comedian named Brian Regan. Eric and I went to see him 2 weeks ago. He was here in Dallas, and it's funny. He talks about fig Newtons, and he just gets a sleeve. He doesn't eat 3, which is the recommended. He said he has like wood chips going out. He's eating them so fast out of the sleeve, right? And so that's what you would do with the trifolds, of course.
That's what you have to do.
And that's what I have done with Thin Mints. So, all right. So, Andy, real quick, we're moving on to a really nice red wine. What is your thought on this, real quick?
Yeah, what are you pouring here for us?
Literally pouring.
Pay attention to what you're doing, buddy.
Literally pouring. What I am pouring now is a Cabernet Franc from Enoch Stomp. And the thing about it is, this is this is the parent of Cabernet Franc, in case y'all didn't know.
Right.
Is
Cab Sauv and Sauvignon Blanc.
Correct. And that's the other way around. Cab Franc and Sauvignon Blanc make Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah.
So this is what they would call
Papa Bear.
Yeah, because this is the genetically speaking, it's one of the parents of that. And a lot of times they will call it meritage because the way it's part of that blending process of having Bordeaux fruit in a bottle of wine. So, but remember, we're growing this in Texas.
Right.
This is grown in Enoch Stomp. And this is a Texas wine grown on their property.
Nice.
Yes.
And
that's over in East Texas, and we went there a couple weeks ago and did a podcast there.
Episode 48?
48, yeah, that's amazing.
Harleton, Harelton. Harleton. So what we're about to do now, remember, this is a red wine. It's by nature, it's going to have hints of tobacco and spice by nature. It's going to have some black pepper probably on the nose, on the mouth.
Well, that's why I love Cab Franc.
So we're all going to taste it first.
Okay. I have no problem with that. You guys taste it, and I'll talk. And Will's over there just smelling the wine and checking it out.
Now, this is a
and he's
2019,
swirling.
right? Let's see. It is.
So I'm going to say with the last cookie we had, it's remnants in my mouth, so I'm going to have to rinse my mouth out.
That's why you have water next to you.
Yes. But I want to say this while we're talking about this, is I think we should stay in the same order.
Oh.
That we just tried a while ago. So do you remember the order we did that?
I do remember the order, yes.
Lemon, trifold, do-si-do, and then coconut, tag-along, and then yes.
Yep. I got it. Yeah, I got the order. So we're good. So let's go ahead and do this then. Let's get after it. So Andy, you want me to start this one? Okay, so I'm going to start with the lemon real quick, guys. And then we got this great Cab Franc, which I am super excited about.
I am excited about this. I love Cab Franc. Cab Franc is probably one of my favorite wines that I keep a big stock of in my refrigerator.
It's one of my favorites as well. The cool thing about the Cab Franc that we're about to taste, that we are tasting in this case, is that it's got some nice tannins.
Yeah.
It's a 2019, so it's already aged. What is this now? 5 years?
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
And it still has a wonderful nose, and you can smell the tobacco and the leather and the. Oh my goodness!
Well, and again, I sampled it and I love it. And Andy, it's probably one of my weaknesses actually, because there's been many times where I've had a bottle of wine and some good sweets or good cookies, and I could just absolutely knock it out of the park. And so for me, it was very. Will, what about you? I think that's fantastic.
I don't think it really went very well with that lemon there.
Okay.
For me, on the final finish, it was definitely, it wasn't a tart. It was just, I don't know. I don't even have a word to describe it. It just didn't go together.
Take care. And then Andy, you're shaking your head. So tell us about your experience there.
Yeah, no, the lemon cookie and his Cabernet Franc is again, it's a thumbs down for me because it also takes away the beautiful notes of the fruit.
Right. Yep.
And all that sugar has just completely turned the finish into a not pleasing wine. So
it wasn't it wasn't a very pleasing wine.
Yeah,
it was not.
The wine was good.
Yeah, the wine was good,
but not with that cookie.
So all right, so go ahead and do the trifold, Andy. Go ahead.
So both you boys, Will, you yours as well, and then so I'll talk about the wine again. So this is a Enoch Stomp. I brought this back from our podcast, and it's been just exciting. So it's a perfect wine for tonight because it's such a tremendous taste, which I think is great.
So the thing about it is, we're drinking a red wine with these cookies, and typically that's why the white wine, the Chardonnay, went so well with the lemon, the what's this called again? I'm sorry.
It's a trifold.
Trifold and the do-si-do. I remember that. So, because now I'm gonna. The reason I remember do-si-do is I've never had one, so I'm about to go back. Yes. Thank you. So no, for me it didn't do well. So
yep, and so for me, it did not do well at all.
Yeah, that was didn't do too well
of all the ones we've done. So we did 6 with the Chardonnay. We've done 2 now with it. That was my least favorite combination.
Yeah, that trifold didn't go too well with the Cab Franc.
No, I did not like that
so
at all.
Go ahead, since he's doing the do-si-do, go ahead and you do the do-si-do, boss. So now I'm it's funny watching everybody try these cookies, and we're trying to stay away from the microphone while we chew, so you don't hear us, and then drink our wine. So all right, so Michael has finished already.
That was not bad. That was better than the trifold. So that was a do-si-do, and I complimented. It was not horrible, but I'm with Andy on one part here, and that is that this wine is so good. When I smelled it and took a drink initially, I just absolutely love a good Cab Franc. And so for me, all these cookies, I mean, so far they're not complimenting it, even though I love Girl Scout cookies, right? So, Andy, how about you? Same dealio?
Yeah, it's not doing it for me.
Yeah, thumbs down.
Yeah, on the cookie pairing, because it really takes away from that beautiful wine. And remember what I said. And when you go to restaurants, one thing you must remember is that you should pair to the wine, not to the food. So, for example, let's say that you're going to an Italian restaurant that maybe, if you're lucky, is a BYOB. And you take with you a white wine, like let's say a Pinot Grigio for the cocktail hour, if you will. And then you take a Cab Franc like this one for the main course.
Okay.
You don't want to get something that is full of lemon, right? But you do want to get something like maybe
brisket.
Yes.
Italian restaurant.
Next week we're going to do brisket tastings. Yes.
Okay, let's do that. Put it on the calendar.
I will have that made. I will.
Will, yeah, you cook a great brisket.
I'll cook some ribs. Ooh, yeah,
Ribs, brisket.
And
We'll
I
do
have a
some
good buddy,
chicken.
Mike Anderson, who makes
pulled pork.
amazing barbecue.
There you go. Well, we'll make that happen. That'll be
you
fun.
know what? Summertime's coming up.
All our eyebrows raised up.
Spring
My
That's what-
time.
brother has a smoker. Both my brothers have smokers.
All right.
So
Get
all right.
focused, boys. So let's
Sorry.
do the Samoas.
All right,
So both you boys take a Samoa.
Well, hold on. My fill of the do-si-do was,
Oh, you haven't done that yet?
Yeah, I think it left a very heavy tannin taste in the back of the finish.
Okay.
Very heavy tannin, and it just I don't dislike it, but I don't like it either.
Okay. You're so specific. Thank you very much.
But I mean, it's true.
Yeah, that is true.
I love a good heavy tannin taste, but sometimes when it's too much, it's just overpowering. And sometimes there's some wines out there that just way too much tannin. And you're like, wow, that's just way too much, and I can't do that no more. So, but all right. So you just got through eating the coconut one, correct?
The Samoa.
I just got
Samoa.
through it in Samoa.
So Andy, your Samoa take.
Now, this one,
Uh-oh.
Me
There
too.
you go.
Me too.
here's the interesting thing about it. It has coconut, and I'm not a big fan of coconut. I don't dislike coconut, but I'm not a fan. So I'm going to say it this way, because as I chewed it and as I got more into the quote unquote coconut aspect, that changes and goes with this wine.
It sure does.
But the sugary beginning, which I guess is, I don't really know what this whole thing's in, but
Well, it's just
according
full
to
of sugar.
Will, this is called a nougat.
Actually, I think it's actually a cookie. I looked at it a while ago. It's actually a cookie.
A nougat
I
is
thought it was a nougat.
Okay.
No, that's my fault. I'm
I think it's a cookie.
it's a cookie.
Okay, so there's a cookie inside. Anyway, when I dispelled the cookie quickly and then just chewed on the chocolate with the coconut, wow,
Yep.
that actually works good.
I agree. And so when I
That's-
experienced it, that was my favorite of the 4 so far. We have 2 to go, but that for sure was my best taste with that Cap Franc.
That was definitely really good.
Yeah, it was
I
tasty.
like that finish on that. That was a really good finish.
Absolutely.
We're going to need you to slow down a little bit there, Andy. I know you're excited about eating these cookies.
Andy has had 71 cookies compared to our 5.
We don't even have enough left to finish this tasting.
They're joking.
No,
They
we're
are
joking. Yeah. So have you tried the
Tag along.
next one?
It doesn't matter. I'm only doing this because I want to be able to talk with you guys
Yes.
and not chew while I'm trying to talk.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
That's good.
'cause
Well, why
it's
don't
free.
you talk and then Will, you and I, why don't we take this one? So now we're doing the tag-alongs.
What's this called again?
Tag-along.
So this one's made of what? Okay, so I'm going to tell you about the tag along. I don't know what it is, but I think this is the one that has the peanut butter in the middle. Chocolate, cookie, and peanut butter covered with a chocolatey coating. So that one, another one that went well because I think the chocolate and the wine pair so well, and the peanut butter, surprisingly, is not bad with this Enoch Stomp Cabernet Franc.
Right. And so, yeah, Will and I, you tried it.
I'm just going to say this. Ladies, you need to get you some tagalongs
Oh.
and a Cap Franc.
Okay.
my
And
God.
get you some Isaac Hayes playing in the background.
and maybe a hot bath and just sit there and drink
Some candle lights.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds fun.
So we need to we need to tell all us about this.
Or guys, gentlemen, if you need to get your wife, something for Valentine's,
Oh, there you go.
some Cap Franc and some box of tagalongs.
The most romantic thing ever is a box of Girl Scout cookies for Valentine's Day.
And you know what? You know what's coming up in 9 days, guys.
This episode comes out the week of Valentine's.
Oh,
Oh my
perfect.
God.
What do you go?
What do you think?
It is.
Yes. Why do you think I said that?
So let's give feedback real quick. Keep on pace here. So for sure, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was great.
It was good.
I did enjoy the coconut Samoa a little bit more, but this one was very, very nice.
Yeah,
I think it's part
I-
of that peanut butter. It was really good.
Yeah,
Good-
I think
good
the
thing.
chocolate actually on both those last two were really
Okay,
good.
the chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
And Andy, how about yourself?
now we're going to do the thin mint.
Well, no, I think Andy needs to comment on this one.
No,
I know
I
you
did.
like it.
Yeah,
I did.
He
Okay.
liked
But I also want to make sure you understand something is that the chocolate, there's different kinds of chocolate. And so the Tagalong has more of a more of a light, kind of creamy chocolate, right? And I'm not really sure because I'm not typically doing wine with cookies, but the
Wow.
Thin Mint, which we're about to do, has a dark chocolate, and we don't know the amount of cocoa, or however you want to say that goes with it because it affects red wine. Not to mention the cookie inside that is mint flavored. Wow.
Well, real quick.
So I'm happy.
Can I describe something to our listeners real quick?
Sure.
All of us grew up with the childhood stories of the cat that ate the mouse, and it just has that little look on his or her face, the little cat. That's what Will's looking like right now. He ate the mouse. He got the mouse.
I'm just going to say that was an amazing experience in my mouth.
What-
That- And I think that
Wow.
that was very good. I think that was an amazing little treat to have. Michael's over here, can't keep a straight face now. Folks, we are only like 2 bottles in now at this point right here. And Michael already can't keep his composure.
Well, it's not 2 bottles.
Right.
It's
Couple
8
of
ounces.
Yeah.
Our listeners don't have to know that.
So Will, you got to be careful with your words there, big guy. So Will, of the 6 you had with the Amazing Cab Franc, what was kind of the one that really, was it the Thin Mint again?
It was actually the Thin Mint and the Tagalong that really just did it all in for me.
Well, I think Andy, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that a good dry red and chocolate are pretty much complementary.
Do we not have any more whites?
No, we're doing 3 reds and a white.
Well, we do, but it's
It's not here with us.
No, it's a sparkling.
Oh no, it's we just don't have it here with us.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
so
here's the way I'm going to answer that question. Ask it again one more time, just to make sure we're on the same page.
Absolutely. So the chocolate of the cookies, and it's been my experience, and of course a good dry red, like a Cab Franc, they tend to complement each other. Is that correct? Is that why you always kind of hear the adage or the kind of the historical part of that? You want some good red wine and some chocolate or dark chocolate?
So yes, it to answer in a big picture, yes, but it does depend on the amount of cocoa in the chocolate.
What is our next wine selection?
Our next wine is one of my favorites, only because I love this type of variety mix.
Okay.
It is known as a Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre.
This one should be really good.
Most of you know that as a GSM, right? And this is from a guy down in Bryan, Texas. What I would consider one of the godfathers of the wine industry, Mr. Paul Bonarigo at Messina Hoff.
Yes, Paul is an amazing man.
Number 1, it's from the High Plains, and number 2, it is a 2020. So this is again another 4-year-old wine. Made in Texas. And so here we go. Let's taste it.
Yep. So I just tasted it. Will's tasting it now as well. And we started with the lemon cookie, the lemon ups. Yep. I'm saying Will's, I wish I could describe this to our listeners a lot better, but Will's kind of like shaking his head. It did not connect with that, did it?
Yeah, no. The finish on that was not very pleasant at all.
No, mine either.
It just it does not go with lemons very well at all.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first tasted it, it was actually, I told you a minute ago, that was my least favorite. Mm-hmm. This one might have been my least favorite now. Yeah. And I don't know if it just something's going on there or not.
There's something going on there.
Yeah. Andy's like, no, this is not right.
Well, here's the thing. The wine is good.
Yeah, the wine is good.
And remember, it's a GSM, so it's a varietal. And as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and tell you the percentages up. 55% Syrah, 32% Grenache, and 13% Mourvedre. Now, what's interesting about that, and just to give you a quick 2-second wine education, Syrah is also known as Shiraz.
Right.
Depends on what country it comes from.
New Zealand.
Grenache is also known as Garnacha in Spain. Yep. And Mourvedre is also known as Monastrell. So also from Spain.
Yep.
So
you're good.
Yep. And so it's a great wine, of course. And so you were telling us real quick about the GSM. And
so GSM, the percentages here is really fascinating. So it's 55, 32, and 13%. And those grapes are amazing. And so you're going to always get, and this is, Chateauneuf de Pop, good kind of wines, Burgundy, region, Rhone, Eastern France, as they say in Paris. And so I did not like it with my lemon thing.
Right. Okay. It just didn't compliment it whatsoever.
Matter of fact, I'm guessing that none of the white cookies are going to pair with this.
So I'm going to use a new word, enhance. Like it doesn't enhance the experience. So you're eating Girl Scout cookies and you're drinking wine. So I just had the shortbread and had a little wine with that. Again, it did not do anything for me whatsoever.
Okay. So the trifold there actually has a little... I'm going to have to actually try this again. Hang on one second.
Okay. So, Andy, have you tried that one? The trifold?
I have. And I think the trifold also does not go because there's a sugar.
It was dull.
And it's bread.
Yeah.
So you think about eating a brioche roll with a red wine. Not so much. Unless there's also some salami, prosciutto, some...
You're growling again. Will hasn't eaten today.
Like an Italian sub.
So
Now that would go good with this.
So I will say this: I think the trifle actually tastes really well with that.
Whoa.
It actually gave me a great little finish on the back end of it. I would say like almost, and this is going to sound weird coming from a red wine, but almost like a buttery finish. And it's really weird. That's why I had to take a second drink of it, because I was like, I wasn't 100% on that. I may actually have to have another one of those cookies just to try to, no, like seriously. Because
that's fine.
The taste of it did give a buttery finish on it.
Yeah. And so for me, I didn't care for it, but I just did the next one actually, which is the Do-si-do. And it's because we're moving on here, because this is not a 2-hour episode. This is a 45-minute to an hour episode. And I thought that was nice. I like that one. Tell us about that, Andy.
So, interestingly enough, yes, that Do-si-do, which is chocolate. No, it's not. It's cookie, peanut butter, and that's it, right? Cookie, peanut butter, and that's it. That's what it is.
The Do-si-do is oatmeal cookie and peanut butter.
So, wow. I am actually shocked. I did not think any one of these white cookies would be good with this
Holy
wine.
cow.
But that actually tastes good.
Okay.
I think it must be, and I don't actually know in this case, I'm going to have to do some research on this, but it actually it must be the peanut butter.
It could be the peanut butter, or it could be the oats.
Okay. So
that was actually.
Did you already do it?
Yeah, I just shoved it down my throat. You did not hear me, but that was actually a very interesting taste there.
That was wonderful. Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. But I have already moved on, fellas. I have done.
Let me say this though. One of the things that I loved about that cookie and the wine is it enhances the tannins, and I'm a big fan.
It definitely did that. It definitely gave it. It wasn't like heavy tannin where the whole thing was like your big tannin ball, but it definitely had a good tannin taste on the back end of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like some really good heavy Tempranillo.
Very nice. I hope we're inspiring people to buy Girl Scout cookies and go drink wine.
That's what this podcast is about.
So
and even if you don't drink wine, go buy Girl Scout cookies.
I tried the Samoas with it. I thought it was an amazing compliment. I thought it was really, really tasty. And I would totally do that. It reminds me of actually with my wife buying some Girl Scout cookies, a little bottle of wine on the patio. It's very tasty. I thought it's a nice compliment.
It definitely was. It was really good.
Yeah.
The chocolate and the coconut actually complemented really well with that GSM, and it had that really nice heavy tannin finish on the back end.
Absolutely, yeah, good. Andy, how about yourself?
Can't believe how good that Samoa was with this GSM. I am in shock, literally, folks. If you could see me right now, I'm in shock. My eyes are like, what the? And wow, that I'm not sure what it is. Again, I'm not sure if it's the coconut.
It's got to be the coconut.
I think so.
So, yeah. And so you're not a coconut fan, but here you are. Yeah. So
I might be a coconut fan.
Yeah, Simone. So,
Will,
you just had the tag along.
So the tag along and this GSM was like silk.
I think it's a chocolate thing. I'm going to go with the whole chocolate thing.
I think I'm going to agree with you on that.
Yeah. So the chocolate with the tag along and the peanut butter, also very, very nice. So I think I did like the Samoa a little bit more.
Don't be modest about it. Just shove it in your mouth.
Well, I think that Will's going through some cookies over here, but you and I are being a little more modest with the cookie consumption.
You know what? This is Girl Scout cookies. They only comes once a year.
You can buy enough to last a year. But I thought it was really, really good. And I thought the chocolate, right? It's all about the chocolate made with the red wine.
I won't have to agree with you on that one.
So how about you with the tag along?
Well,
that's professional of me.
I'm enjoying the finish still.
Yes.
Which it did not disturb the wine. Again, I've said it once and I'll say it again. We pair it to the wine. And so this one, again, what's it called?
That's tag along.
Tag along.
The tag along is really good with this Grenache,
yes,
Syrah, and Mourvedre, otherwise known as,
if you would please, sir.
GSM. And GSM, of course, comes from Europe.
Yep.
But I think that Texas has become a place for GSM.
I had to agree with you on that. I think Texas is getting to the point where we can grow a lot of stuff that happens over in Europe, especially like in Spain or Italy, where they have the hot temperatures during the daytime and it doesn't cool off as much during the evening times.
Well, I'm pretty new to GSM, and since I've been here in Texas, so is it kind of a Texas thing, or is it kind of happening across the country? Because I know in Europe it's happening, but how about
GSM
here?
in general?
Yeah, GSM.
No, it's not happening across the country.
Okay.
Because I remember, you got to remember the grapes that are being used here: Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. So for example, in New York, these don't work. In Washington State, these probably don't work as well. In Oregon, these probably don't work, but there's places in California that it does work. Texas, I think, is, what's the word I want to use? I was going to say pivotal, but I don't want to use pivotal. It is placed in the right place because all three of those grapes are, for example, as Will just alluded to, southern Spain. Every one of those grapes is grown in southern Spain and in southern France, which is, Texas, which is southern of the world. So even in Mexico, there's some really good Mexican GSMs, some really good Mexican Monastrell, Shiraz, and Garnacha. So I'm anxious to, we need to let Paul Bonarigo know that his GSM went so well with this cookie. So the next cookie we're going to do, though, I believe, is the Thin Mint.
Yes, the Thin Mint. So Will, you just had your Thin Mint, as Andy's now going to try his. So tell us about it.
So I'm getting kind of mixed emotions on that. Like the first time I ate it, it was really kind of like bitter.
Okay.
Like I got really bitter taste on it. But then I let it kind of sit and mellow in my mouth a little bit, and it actually kind of softened up a little bit, and it kind of threw me for a loop. So I had to take a second bite. And
of course you did.
And give it just a moment. And honestly, I want to say it works, but it doesn't work with it. Because at first, when you kind of like first drink your glass of wine, it kind of like, it's really bitter. But if you give it just a second, just to kind of sit there for just a moment and kind of like think about itself,
right,
it actually finishes really well.
No, it was good. And so I actually really liked the Thin Mint. I thought it was really tasty. And I'm still going with the Samoa. And again, I apologize to both of you guys. I really think I'm kind of spoiled. I've been eating Samoas for so long. I love them.
I love Samoans also.
I love the coconut. So to me, it was incredibly good. And so I don't know, Andy, how about yourself with that last one, the Thin Mint?
Not so much. I'm not sure. I think it must be. And in this case, again, I want to do a little bit more investigation, which I probably should have been more prepared.
We'll send you home with cookies.
This has kind of been just a fun, very interesting kind of situation. And the chocolate, I think, is different than the last one we had, which is called a Tagalog.
Yep.
So I think, and I like that. I like the Tagalog with it, but I didn't like this Thin Mint with it, which is kind of sad.
So,
right.
I just had to retry the tag-along again.
Of course you did.
Well, I mean, because I wanted, it was looking at me and saying my name.
I agree.
But I actually tried the tag-along again, and I will have to say the exact same thing with you. I have to agree with you on that. I think the Thin Mint went really well with it, but it was bitter at first, but after it kind of sits with you and kind of says, hey, I'm here with you, it actually came out really well.
Yep. All right, so we're drinking a new wine now. So we've had 3 wines. We've had a Cab Franc, we have a GSM, we had the Chardonnay, and we definitely need to move on to the next one.
Yes. So now the next one, what are we drinking, Andy?
What we're drinking now is the Landon Cabernet Sauvignon Texas High Plains 2021 Cabernet Sauvignon. Now, this is from my buddy's personal selection. It is a reserve. So that means that it's been aged a particular amount of time. Again, it's Texas High Plains. My understanding is this comes from the Bingham Vineyards up in Meta, Texas.
Yes.
And so I'm really excited because I like this wine by itself. I also like this wine with a ribeye. I've also had this wine with a heavy lasagna.
Okay, so I'm just going to point this out. We don't have either one of those in front of us, okay? And we're eating cookies, okay?
Here's my takeaway today is hanging out with Andy. I'm really hungry because he described some really good foods.
He talked about barbecue and ribeye now.
And ribeye.
I
love ribeye.
I could go for both of them.
Yeah,
even though
and lasagna.
And lasagna. Well, I don't know about the lasagna. There's too much carbs in that.
I love deep lasagna.
Even though we're eating cookies here, I'm talking about
right.
carbs.
Yeah, here you are.
Worried about carbs?
Yeah.
Really?
So we're drinking a Cabernet, and it's from the High Plains. I love that very, very much. And of course, Bingham's, we just had a podcast with them last week. We met the matriarch and the patriarch of that great family, and it was really awesome. So, kudos to those guys. We just absolutely love those guys. So, okay, we're going to go after it. So right now, Will is trying our first cookie, which is lemon. Go ahead, Andy.
One of the things we're going to mention about this is the Cabernet Sauvignon by nature. Again, I want to give you just a little bit of a basis point so you can have a benchmark, if you will. It's going to have some cassis, some black cherry, some this one is not very tannic, which I'm a little bit surprised, but it's okay. A lot of people don't like tannic. So what I'm going to say is this is very well balanced. It's not overly tannic. There's no acidity to think of. It starts well. It finishes well. So now the only thing we got to do is taste it with cookies. And I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction that all the chocolates are going to be better than I call them the whites because they're lemon, shortbread, and peanut butter.
Right. Yeah. And I actually agree with that. I mean, as I was going through this, and I probably kind of knew it throughout my whole life, probably the last 35 years of my life, a good chocolate with a good red wine really is amazing to me.
I'm going to say this right now.
Yep.
And this is going to be kind of crazy. I think the lemon one actually really goes well with this.
So you just had the lemon cookie,
I actually had to take 2 bites of it. The lemon drop.
The lemon up.
Lemon up. I actually had to take 2 bites of it just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating.
Right. Hallucinating. Yeah.
or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it actually went really well with it.
Yeah,
I was kind of shocked on it because I know Cab Sauv has a lot of acid in it, a lot of heavy tannins in the back end of it, and it actually balanced it out really well. And it wasn't like, oh wow, there's a lot of tannins and there's a lot of acid here, but it balanced it out really well.
Okay. Yeah, and I didn't think it was too bad either. I was surprised because the lemon has kind of been my least favorite so far, even though I'm a huge lemon fan. But with the red wines in particular, I have not really cared for it. But this was not too bad, Andy.
And it's not too bad. I like that word. But I will also say this, that, in Texas, the grape variety on the bottle only has to be 75% in the bottle. So it could have, and we don't know this, but we can find out. And we know people. Will knows people. We can find out the exact blend of
percentages and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because it's possible. This, again, I'm kind of surprised it's not as tannic as I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's not. I agree. I totally agree with that.
Chances are it may not. It's definitely not 100% cap.
So I'm watching Will's reaction to
that. I mean, I shouldn't say definitely. That's a bad thing for me to say because there's nothing definite when I don't know. But I'm going to guess that it's not 100%.
So I'm going to hear your reaction real quick. So we've just done the tag along, is it? No, excuse me, the trifoil, and I didn't think it was too bad. That was my favorite drink with that particular shortbread.
I'm actually going to have to try that one again because of the symbol. Well, and it's not because I mean,
imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, but
strange.
The taste of it is confusing.
We'll try it again while we're watching. While we're doing it.
While like the previous one with the GSM and the Thin Man, at first it was bitter, and then it actually kind of when it nestled into itself, it actually was really good and silky.
I like that.
But this right here, I had the same feeling with that one. It just at first it's kind of like, hey, I'm really bitter, really heavy tannic, but if you give me just a moment and let me have a play with this, it actually comes out finished.
Well, you got to remember also that these are opening up. You just open these bottles.
Right.
This one also is a 2021, so it's already 3 years old, and we didn't let these things air out. So technically, it might have been in our best interest to decant all of these wines for about an hour just so we could have, because I would bet you that tomorrow if we did these wines, or even a few hours from now if we did these wines, it would change the way our perception is.
Right. No, I agree.
I will have to definitely say, okay, I took a second bite, and I will have to say that drink was just very pleasing to the palate.
Good.
I really, really like that. Yeah, we've already passed the lemon one. We're on the trifold.
So the shortbread. Yep. So Andy's trying that real quick. And then Andy, why don't you try the do-si-do?
No, we're going to hold up. We'll let Andy catch up here.
Right, but then you do it as I talk. So
I'm just going, but I want to continue on the trifold. I feel that because the trifold wasn't so heavy, complex in sugar, it was very simple. I think that's the reason why it was so pleasing to the palate.
I could eat a sleeve of those and drink some wine every single night. I would have to run a marathon every morning to
I was going to ask you, do you need a bathtub and bubbles? And all
what is it called again?
That's the trifold. That's the shortbread.
Trifold and Bob Landon Winery Cabernet Sauvignon gets thumbs down.
Oh, thumbs down. Oh, so you and I liked it, and you did not like that one. So that's interesting. Yeah. So next, of course, we have the do-si-do, which is just a great cookie. I mean, I've never had one with wine before, and so far I think I'm like 2 out of 3, like the do-si-do with wine, but not a super huge fan of it so far. But here I go. So.
Well, what I'm going to say is I've already done this, and I think, again, surprisingly, this do-si-do, which is chocolate, oat. Oh, no, it's not. It's peanut butter, oat something or other.
Oatmeal cookie.
Oatmeal cookie. amazing.
That was good.
I'm shocked how well this cooked so far. I think this is winning in Wino Guy's mind is this do-si-do and wine.
I agree. I was going to say it was in my top 3 that I've had tonight. That was good. Okay, tell us.
Wow.
I don't think I don't think that. So the do-si-do, when I'm kind of conflicted because really, because now that it's already have gone through, and it's the finish has gone through everything. At first, I really didn't like it. I was like, nope, I don't like this. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of like it marries itself at the very end, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what is this? It's almost like you. So try to. You liked it, didn't you, Michael?
I loved it. It was amazing.
You loved it?
Yeah.
Why no?
Well, he says
again, I'm shocked. I'm almost speechless how well that went with this wine.
It's crazy because
it's crazy.
At first, I was like, no, this doesn't go together. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, this is actually really good. It's kind of weird how it changes during the evolution of your tongue. No,
so, Will, you're talking about kind of like how your tongue adapts and modifies and kind of adjusts.
My tongue adjusts to the flavors. It was just kind of.
It didn't evolve.
You know what? This is a good moment for me to explain a couple of things real quick.
Okay.
So the tongue, all it does is taste sweet, sour, bitter. That's all it does. The sides are the sourness or acidity. The front is the sweetness, and the back is the bitterness. So, as Mr. Michelle would say to you right now, Michelle, my belle. No.
Ooh, Beatles. Beatles reference.
Yes, I love the Beatles. So your nose, the olfactory, combined with the tongue. Now, Will, you were saying
how you adapt.
My tongue, my palate actually adapted to the flavors as it was progressing through, and I will have to say that at first it wasn't my favorite, and then it changed.
So now, how do you feel?
I would say it was a 50-50.
Really? Because
at first it wasn't all that great, and then the second time it was as it progressed, it actually changed and it evolved and it became better. So I will have to say that the do-si-do gets a 50-50 on me. Oh. Yeah, it's that one. So
that's called the do-si-do?
No, so next we're doing the Samoa, which is the one you're pointing at. So don't do that one. I just did the Samoa to get things started. I just
did the Samoa too. So okay. We'll get started.
So
go ahead. Y'all talk about the Samoa.
Oh, we do. Yeah, go ahead.
Talk amongst yourselves.
That's
what he said. I think that's what he said.
That's right. And so I like Samoa again across the board. We've done 4 wines now, wine tastings, and with this Samoas, and I think probably 3 out of 4 has been my favorite, including this one. I think that coconut, which I'm really proud of you eating coconut because you didn't like it. Which my wife was here. She doesn't like it, but I think it's fantastic.
Again, I'm totally shocked in the positive sense of shocked. That do-si-do. Wait, is that what it's called?
No, this is a Samoa.
Okay, one of these days I'm going to figure these cookies out. But I'm going to say is that the coconut, I think, is what's changing this, because when you start crunching on the coconut and you get that coconut milk out of the coconut, wow! And we're drinking a Cabernet.
Well, explain that, Andy. Explain that to our listener. Why is that? Because to me, I agree that coconut is fantastic. So, what is the chemical or the chemistry behind that coconut and this wine?
Well, I'm going to say it this way. I don't know the completely scientific point of view, but I will say it this way: is that coconut milk, which is technically not a milk, right? It is the pulp, if you will, of the coconut. As we chew it, it releases these flavor profiles, which is not too sweet. It's a little bit on the bitter side, quite frankly. And I think the bitterness of the coconut meat, which is what it's called, is changing our palate and the way we drink it. So now that I know that, I'm actually going to become a liker. Is that the way you say it?
Liker, yes.
A liker of coconut.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. It's just amazing. So again, I'm all about that. So now we're moving on real quick because we have a great wine and it's just phenomenal. Right. We're having a good time. We're short on time here, so let's go ahead and do the next one. Will, what is the next one?
Tag along.
We're going
to try the tag along. So now, again, this one is the peanut butter on the outside with the peanut butter. Sorry, chocolate on the outside, peanut butter in the middle. This is actually one of my favorite ones that's growing up. I used to freeze this and actually chip off the chocolate on the outside of it.
Oh, this is the one you did that?
Yes. This was my favorite one as a kid growing up.
Well, okay. I'm just establishing right now, Will.
A little secret about,
Go ahead.
A little story about the tagalongs. My sister used to sell Girl Scout cookies. And I used to sneak boxes of Girl Scout cookies and eat those in my bedroom.
From her inventory?
From her inventory. But at that time, the Girl Scouts would sell the cookies and then they would get the boxes in. They wouldn't have an inventory on hand to sell. So they used to have to go door to door to sell the cookies. And then they would get the cookies in after they sold them.
Right, because you sell them, you pre-sell them.
Right. It was all pre-sales.
I did not remember that.
But they never had a box of cookies to set up at a table like at Walmart that they do nowadays.
Right.
They had to pre-sell them, and that's why they did it back in the days. And then if you didn't get none, guess what? You didn't get none for a whole
I actually
next
think
year.
they still do it that way. I think the people who are at supermarkets pre-order a ton of cookies with the expectation, this is our goal, we are going to sell these cookies.
I don't know, because some places actually, from what I'm seeing, and please, if your girl is in a Girl Scouts, please let us know on Facebook.
Yeah, right, because they're listening to our podcast.
And what's our Facebook?
We Know Texas Vino.
So on Facebook, it's Facebook /We Know Texas Vino.
Yes.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah, so go out there and let us know how y'all do it now, and then compare it to back in the day when we were young. And
You know what? We didn't have these. Remember when we were young? So Will is 18 years younger than me. So he forgets that when I was eating Girl Scout cookies, we had Thin Mints. And that's it. We had Thin Mints, and it was $2 a box. And I remember my dad we would be wherever, and I'd say, let's get some Thin Mints. He'd walk up to the table, and he would buy the boxes out. All of them. It might have been $20, but guess what?
Right, you buy them all out. That's the way to do it.
Right? So back to the cookies. Wow. I am shocked on this one, too.
that tag-along was freaking amazing. Holy crap.
Well, yeah, it's so good.
I like that.
It actually, I think it, because, we all know Cab Sauv is really heavy tannic. And so we know that at the finish of a Cab Sauv has really heavy tannic, but when you actually add that cookie into it, it actually tamed that heavy tannic of the cookie. And right there in front of you, sorry folks, we're missing cookies and we can't find the Thin Mints.
That's funny.
And we're fixing to blame Michael for eating them all.
Everyone's pointing at me. Yeah, so
Michael's the disher of cookies tonight.
So we're on Thin Mints now, and I just had that Thin Mint, and again, phenomenal. I really enjoy it. In fact, this was my favorite Thin Mint experience with these 4 wines we've had so far. It was really tasty. Look at the wino guy. He's liking that one. Wino guy's going to be buying a lot of cookies here. Look at him go. Will, you're chewing. How's it feel? Take a glass of wine.
I'm going to say wow to the Thin Mint and Landon Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Top so far? That's probably the most expressive you've been.
Yes, probably. But I will say that I will say that's probably my most expressive.
Well, there you go. Top
wow.
There. There you go. Finally, we're on the same page on that one.
Holy cow. That was... Okay, so I'm gonna back up a little bit. So we talked about the tag along, and then we talked about the Thin Mint here.
Right.
That was very interesting. It kind of mellowed out the flavor of the Cab Sauv, because Cab Sauv has the heavy tannic finish, and it actually it mellowed it out. It leveled it all out, where it was a smooth, easy finish.
I liked it. It was actually, I'm going to put it in my top 1 for the evening so far. That's how much I enjoyed that. It was really tasty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It won't be in my top 1, but it's for sure.
Top 5?
I don't know, because here's the thing. I said so about the
Samoa.
The coconut has really changed. Here's the thing about it too. If you're those of you that are wine drinkers, big wine drinkers, you're going to know that coconut sometimes comes out of many wines. That little, I think that's part of the oaking process, that you're going to get a little bit of a coconut note from from U.S. oak, from American oak. So I'm anxious to figure out why this is happening.
It's exciting. Yeah. It's been fun.
Really exciting.
Yeah,
I'm so blown away.
So any wino guy, my friend, we've had 4 wines so far. We've had the
Landon Chardonnay.
We've had the Enoch Stomp Cabernet Franc. We have the GSM from
Messina Hoff.
Messina Hoff. Then we had the Landon Winery. We had the Cab Sauv, which is their wine of the month. Actually, it's February. It's their wine of the month, which is kind of cool. So
it is.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
Now,
and so we're going to finish. We're going to wrap this up. This short episode. What are we drinking now, sir?
I'm actually really excited about this because I'm going to say this is probably one of my favorite port style wines.
Yes.
That is made right now.
You want to know why I bought that? Because you were so inspired and you had me try it. And I'm like, oh, I think Erica, my wife, would like that one. And so we have to save a little bit for her. But I'm excited to try it.
If we drink it all tonight, I will go buy her another bottle.
So, without further ado, let me tell you a little bit about what we're drinking. We're drinking Cedar Hollow Winery and Vineyard. It's called Vanilla Moon. It's a dessert wine. It's the 2022 version. It's 18.3% alcohol by volume. It is grown in Texas, which makes it, in my opinion, awesomeness. And basically, because being a wine guy, you have to be prepared. So I've already tasted it. I've already tasted this this wine, and I will say that I'm a big lover of port wines. And maybe we will someday break away from the Texas vino just for one day on a bonus kind of thing and just talk about it.
I think it'll be great.
But we'll see. That's another story.
Awesome. So this is our last and final round. Okay,
yes.
guys. And so we're excited to try the 6 cookies with this amazing.
I will say this, port wines are my favorite when it comes to smoking cigars.
Sure.
Which we are hoping to do some episodes this year about.
Don't hope, brother. We'll do that.
Well, because I know
some great contacts.
We want to focus. A lot of the wine. Everybody says, "Hey, wine is for a woman." Yada yada yada. But we want to show that the guys can have wine just as much as the women can, and have it with cigars.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah,
Didn't Triple N Ranch do that?
Yep.
They have a cigar maker there, don't they?
Yes. Well, they don't have a cigar maker. She actually is a cigar aficionado.
Oh, I thought she was also a maker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to contact her and get some things going.
We're going to try
up
to do
there
something
near Cedar Creek Lake, right?
Up there by
in Trinidad.
It's about Trinidad, yes.
Yeah, Cedar Creek Lake.
Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll. So why don't you two boys take your first cookie and have some fun with that? And that is, of course, the lemon drop or the lemon ups. So these boys are taking a little bite of that. They're going to try this amazing, amazing wine. And let's see expressions. I wish I could describe expressions here. So if I describe Andy, the wino guy, real quick, his not pleasant, I think, is a thumbs
I'm
down.
I'll give you another thumbs down.
Yeah, and then Will?
The lemon and this cookie and this amazing, what I want to go ahead and just call it, I'm going to call it a port style wine.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't do well for me.
No, all the flavors that you get from the port style of the wine itself, it actually just takes away completely from it. They just no.
Nope, that was not good. And I smelled the wine. I tasted it before I tried the cookie. It's phenomenal. It's a great wine, or a great port. And so to me, it did not complement that at all.
No,
way too sweet. Sweet. Something went bad there.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah. So next we have, of course, the shortbread.
Go ahead.
And we're going to knock that out of the park real quick.
Yep. So we've gone to these wineries here and we've done all the wines that they have, and it's really fun to sit here and do all these pairings and try to taste these wines out for everybody, because we want you to experiment. Wine is not just something you just drink and enjoy with some cheese and crackers, but enjoy it with some popcorn, with some chocolate, with some brisket, with chicken, with whatever you want to find out there to eat. If you can consume it, try it, because you'll be surprised what you'll find that these wines will go really well with.
Absolutely. So I just did the next one, which was the shortbread, of course, and I thought it was not a little bit better than the lemon. I don't know why. Probably because it's a real basic, simple sugar.
Well, I think the lemon also has the acid in the lemon itself, and I think that kind of offsets the sugar quite a bit. And when you have sugar from like in a port style wine,
right,
it does that to you.
Yeah.
Andy, what's your?
Well, first of all, I love this wine.
Right.
First of all, just as a standalone, I'm really.
Have you had it before?
No, sir.
Oh, good for you.
No, I'm pleasantly surprised by it. It is. I need to understand the varietal. I didn't know what the varietal is, which is so now it's going to take it to another level. But I will say, so far, both cookies I've had with this, both the lemon thingy and the
The lemon up and the trifle.
The trifold. Do not do it for me with this wine. I think, it's 18% alcohol, first of all. But the fruit profile is very rich. And I would say it's very cherry. Well, and it almost has a note of red Jolly Rancher to me.
Interesting. I can see the three of us sitting on that patio outside my door right now with that glass of wine, just totally enjoying the beauty of this world.
Yeah, I don't think the trifle goes very well with it.
Me either. Yeah, it's not my favorite. Yeah, certainly not in my top 30.
So now we're going to hit the do-si-do. So go ahead, Michael and Andy, hit the do-si-do. Because I know Andy's over here hungry because he's getting way ahead of us before we can get to it. But I'm going to say this. So, we always think about, we do things nowadays as an adult. And we try stuff like, let's say Girl Scout cookies. And it takes you back to the day when you used to eat the Girl Scout cookies. I remember taking the do-si-do apart, eating the peanut butter first, and then eating the oatmeal cookie after that.
Nice. Well, I just had that, Andy, and I thought it was not bad. I did not mind that one at all.
That is the best word, not bad.
Yep.
It would not be in the category of, I'm going to do that again.
I think what I did is I had the hierarchy of 3 in a row. The first 2 were just so below average. This one was above average to me, and it's not great. But again, nothing against the wine or even the cookies. It's just that combination, right? So for me, it wasn't
we're pairing
extraordinary.
To the wine, so it's not the wine.
Right. The wine's great.
The wine's great.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm loving this wine.
I'm really glad you had it for the first time. That's really cool. I had that.
And I'm excited that I had it with my
We'll have to get a couple more bottles next time he's over there.
So.
Yeah. And Will's
going to drive down there tonight, I understand.
Oh, thank you, Will.
Bottle.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Oh,
that's Farmersville. Is that correct? Farmersville?
Yeah, that's Greenville. But the do-si-do, I think it goes okay with it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's great, and I don't say it knocks it out of the park, but I think it goes great with it. I mean, will I sit there and eat a whole sleeve of do-si-dos while I'm drinking my wine? No.
Depends on how much wine you've had.
Well, that too. And but I don't think I will sit there and eat a whole sleeve of it. But I mean, it definitely went. It goes pretty well. It balances it all out.
Yeah, that's good.
So we're sitting here looking at Andy.
Well, it's because Andy and I just had the Samoa, and I am so proud of you, Andy. You're eating coconut, my friend. And I bet I'm just going to say this: we've had 5 tastings now, 5 different wines with that Samoa, and probably 3 of the 5, if not 4 of the 5, you've been astonished. Now look at him; he's in awe.
Don't say I know off the air. We need to.
I like teaching Andy a few things,
but. I'm not speechless often, and this Samoa thing and this wine, it must be the coconut.
Yeah, it's coconut.
Literally, I don't know what else.
Because you have a cookie, you have a cookie in there, and you have your chocolate, and then but it's a coconut.
Yeah.
So now
because every time you chew on the coconut and you get that coconut milk out, and then you drink this Vanilla Moon, which is a dessert wine, which is obviously probably, and I'm going to go ahead and. It smells like a Blanc de Bois and a maybe Le Noir because it's Texas fruit. I don't know. Again, I'm gonna find out tonight what this is, and I'm gonna let my cohorts know, and I'm gonna post it on my Wino Guy page.
Excellent.
And let you know what it is.
Yeah,
because
it's so good. Good for you. Yeah, no, it's wonderful. So, Will, go ahead.
I can't say it's horrible, but I can't say it's not good either. But it's very neutral for me because it doesn't like make my taste buds dance, but it doesn't make them just sit there and not do anything at all. And so, but I mean, it was good. I mean, would I again sit there like the do-si-do, eat a whole sleeve of it by itself and drink it? No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, that wasn't do-si-do. That was the Samoa, right?
Samoa. Yeah. Samoa.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that. The do-si-do, I would have drank a whole glass of that and ate a sleeve of that.
Right, easily.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I said do-si-do as well. It's phenomenal. Yeah. Have you tried that yet, Andy?
Is that this one?
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yes, sir. It is.
So the do-si-do and this one is less exciting for me than the Samoa, but that's okay. Remember that wine is a personal, 100% personal choice. Even no matter how it tastes, what people say, oh, I smell cassis. You may not smell cassis. It's okay because it's so personal. But the point is that if you want to learn terms like a sommelier or a wine educator, you want to try to use the same language. And that, what was this called again? Dosido?
That is the Dosido, yes.
Yeah. So I'm not as much of a fan so far as I was with the Samoa.
So the Vanilla Moon is a full body porch style dessert wine that was aged in bourbon oak barrels.
Correct.
With a hint of smoke and vanilla, and chilled after dinner treat and a fine cigar. That's the reason why I love this one, because it's so great with a cigar. But it doesn't say what all is in it, though.
Correct.
Are you guys on the Dosido?
Just started.
All right.
So he's just starting the Dosido?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's this one?
Mm-hmm.
He's behind about 2 cookies. You and I we're on the same page. So
Okay.
we've moved on. Yeah. So
Wait, so you're on the Dosido and we're on the Thin Mint.
right. I just did Thin Mint.
I just did Thin Mint.
Holy cow. I am behind.
How'd you get behind? I could have sworn you were with us on the coconut thingy. What's
He
that
was.
called
He
again?
was. That's the
Coconut's called
Samoa.
again?
That's the Samoa.
The Samoa.
And then we moved on to the Dosido.
Well, that's this one.
No, that's
No,
the
you
tag
were with us.
That's the tag along.
Oh, tag along. Now we moved on to the tag along. We were calling it Dosido.
Okay, so so I'm not behind then.
Okay.
Okay. What you can't see here is that our friend Michelle Woods has confused me because I'm not a cookie aficionado. I'm a wino guy.
So in other words, he just called you fat without telling you you're fat.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
I think that I confused him because I called one
Yes.
the wrong name.
Yes. So I'm finally learned it, and I've even put them on my
Learned it.
plate in the right order.
I can't wait for you to edit this. This is going to be so much fun.
No, he's not going to edit this.
He's
Not that part.
Well, that's
Because it is what it is.
Blooper.
So, Will, where are you? What have you tasted so far? Where are we? Do we need to catch up? Or
I just tasted the tag along. I'm fixing to actually drink the wine now with it.
and I loved the tagalong again.
Yeah.
Which it must be the only common denominator is the coconut. Now, even Will said that
So
he didn't like so much.
The tag along does not have coconut in it.
That's a Samoa.
That's the Samoan.
Ay.
So that's what happened, folks. When you drink 5 bottles of wine.
No. We've opened 5 bottles of wine. We've had tastings from each of them.
Well, we've had like multiple pours of it. So we have had a really enjoyable night so far, and right now I don't think Andy knows what cookie we're on.
Well, okay. So let's finish strong here, fellas. So let's go ahead and do the Thin Mint and enjoy that real quick. So
yeah, I just had the tag along. So I will say that the tag along with this wine actually was a pleasant taste on it. I mean, it is a pleasant taste on the palate.
absolutely.
It was a neutral flavor. It wasn't like heavy tannic. It wasn't heavy sweet. It was just like it was a neutral flavor on there.
Yeah. And I liked it. I thought it was great. I think it's again, back to the chocolate. I'm such a simpleton, but I think it's the chocolate complemented by the beautiful wines we're having tonight. We picked 5 really good ones, and I'm just really impressed with the chocolate that I'm experiencing here tonight with the Girl Scout cookies and, of course, the great wines.
Yep. All right. So now,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to just say I echo that to the extent that, I would never have eaten a coconut cookie. I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't taste them at someone's home. But here we are tasting coconut cookies with wine.
Yes.
And so far, that has been the best tasting cookie with all the red wines for sure.
Right.
For sure. For me. But you already heard what I said earlier about the white wine.
Well,
So-
I think we should wrap this up with the Thin Mint and then vote and then wrap it up.
I would like to say I am glad I was able to be peer pressure enough to force Andy to eat coconut.
That's
tonight.
right. Well, that's good. Well, you learned a lesson, and Andy and I've learned a
You know
lesson.
what? That's I'm an old man, and I thank God that I'm able to be an
You're
old
a pup.
man and
You're a pup.
learn every day.
Yahoo. Okay, so Thin Mint real quick. You guys are enjoying it? You're drinking it right now?
So I've already done the Thin Mint, and of course, now I'm going to tell you this. I think the Thin Mint with this wine, I'm going to say it's an okay. What was the word you used, Michelle?
I think it was okay, or
yeah. No, you said
pretty
better,
good.
Pretty good. Something like that. It's okay. It doesn't detract too much from the wine. It doesn't ruin the cookie. And so by virtue of having a meal that is not ruined by either, this is okay. So,
well, I liked it. I really enjoyed that. I think it was fantastic.
I actually got to really fully taste the wine on that one, because when you taste a port style wine, it's really heavy sweet, but it has a flavorful taste that you want to enjoy. And the previous cookies didn't give that to me fully, but it gave it to me at a small point. But on the Thin Mint, when I actually ate the cookie and then I drank the wine, it was just like, wow, I actually get to taste the wine with the cookie itself.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, good. Well, boys, I think we should probably vote here real quick and say what was our most impressive cookie and wine combination tonight. What do you think? Will, you want to start that? That's our takeaway?
So I'm going to say the Chardonnay and the Lemon Up.
Really, the very first one you had tonight.
Because
Andy, that was the first one he had.
I don't want to say I hate Chardonnays, but I'm not a Chardonnay fan whatsoever.
Wow.
I mean, I've had Chardonnay from one other place, and that was at RK, and I really enjoyed the RK Chardonnay. Outside of that, I am not a Chardonnay fan. I've tried our Chardonnay from multiple places, and the Chardonnay that we had tonight from Landon and the Lemon Up, it hit in the right spot, and I loved it. It was beautiful.
Cool. Andy, do you have a favorite wine cookie combo?
Yeah, you know what I think? I think I'm going to tell you that it's actually kind of a tie.
Okay, we can't have ties here. You gotta have a definite.
Well, okay,
there's always those people who have like three answers.
Let me give you my So I'm going to say that the Enoch Stomp, Cab Bronc, and the GSM from Messina Hoff,
and the coconut
thingy.
What's it called? It's called a Samoa. Yeah,
were surprisingly tasty. But if I had to pick number one, I would say the GSM and the Samoa was my favorite. Which I'm shocked that, first of all, I'm eating a freaking coconut cookie.
Right.
But second of all, I am drinking a Texas GSM, and it tastes amazing.
And for me, it was easy. Actually, the most inspiring moment of the night so far is easily that Enoch Stomp, and the Samoa for me was really a compliment. I know. Man. I took mental notes, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it was great. Well, what a great experience here, guys, and appreciate it. I hope the listeners are appreciative of this short podcast, and I know that it'll be fun.
A short podcast.
I know. I'm joking.
We're looking at an hour and a half already.
Well, we're grateful for our listeners. I thought this would be a lot of fun today, and a lot of great opportunity for us just to have build our trilateral relationship, as well as have a great time eating cookies and drinking wine, which is one of my hobbies. So, Will?
So I will have to say this was definitely a fun little experience. I've never thought, we always talk about pairing cheese and wine and chocolate with wine. And recently I heard about popcorn and wine, but to do cookies and wine, I mean, who would have thought?
Well, we're going to start a trend, buddy. We're going to start a trend.
Yeah. So hopefully we're going to make this viral.
Yeah.
Well, and to what Will just said, I want to add that I do and have done a popcorn and wine.
Yes.
And I've been very impressed with popcorn and the different opportunities you have to add ingredients to it: cheese and salt and pepper,
caramel,
vinegar,
and everything. Yeah, all that
caramel, cheddar. Mm-hmm. All these different opportunities. But the thing tonight, I was shocked that I first of all ate a coconut cookie.
Yahoo!
I will have to say I love having peer pressure.
Yeah, well, it's not peer pressure. You inspired him to eat coconut.
We're going to leave it at peer pressure.
We can leave it at peer pressure, because probably I would not have done it if he just said, "Eat this cookie."
Well, no, it was a lot of fun, guys.
I think we did that. I mean, off the air before it was recorded, I said, "You're going to eat this cookie whether you like it or not."
Yes. Well, I think it's been a real fun time, and again, I hope it's beneficial to people. And I think the Girl Scout coalition, what they're trying to do, raise money. I think that's really cool.
Yes.
Will, thanks for buying those today and having a great friend who was able to come up with the whole idea. Andy, thank you for teaching us and doing all the things you need to do.
And guys, drink Texas wine.
Absolutely.
We need to put ourselves on the map. We're on the map. So give it a shot. If you have questions, contact us at weknowtexasvino.wine, and we can direct you in the right place.
Yes.
We can talk to you about the best wines to try, because guess what? There are wines in every state of the United States that aren't what they should be and could be.
Yeah.
And we know Texas Vino.
I love it. Well, thank you, Wino Guy, and thank you, Will. And I have a couple quotes just to wrap it up real quick right before we wrap it up. But Will, go ahead and wrap this up real quick. And
we want to talk about our big announcement that we got.
Well, let's go ahead and hit that really hard real quick. And so go ahead.
So, as most of us know, or most of our listeners know, that we've been doing this for about a year now.
Just over a year.
And we're going into our second year now. And so, we want to make sure we get the word of Texas wine out to the world. We hit about 30 countries globally now. And we're almost in about 7,000 downloads as of right now.
That's great.
7,000. I mean, that's amazing for our first year podcast. So last week we had a good conversation with some guys for, I guess, board of directors.
Yeah, I think the executives and the people who make decisions with TWGA,
Yes.
TWGGA.
Yeah, so it's the Texas Wine and Grape Growers Association.
Correct.
That they have made us the official sponsors of
the official podcast.
The official podcast
of the TWGA conference, which is in Denton, Texas, here coming up here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
And we're going to be there. We're going to showcase. We're going to talk. We're going to be there and meet some really great people.
Yep.
We're going to bring the Wino Guy with us because that's super important for him to connect as well and just really do some cool things. So what a cool honor to be out there and to be notarized.
Yep.
And I guess our great pat on the back is we've earned at this point an opportunity to connect with some great people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, they're actually having an award ceremony at TWGA conference that week also. And yours truly, Michael and I, will be hosting
Will
that.
and Michael hosting that. That'll be a lot of fun. It'll be like the Oscars relived.
So
And I'll be eating.
Yeah, and Andy will be eating. So,
good.
But we will be trying to broadcast as much of this conference online, so you can see the who's of Texas wine industry.
Everyone will be there
because we want y'all to know that the industry out there are a lot of good people behind the scenes that you don't know, that you need to get to know because they're just amazing folks.
Well, we're going to grab them. We're going to interview them. We're going to talk to them. We're going to build those relationships, and we're going to have a long-lasting, amazing friendship with these great people. So, let me wrap it up, gentlemen.
Yes.
Are you ready for this? Thank you both for eating food and for drinking wine at my home.
This is cookies.
And so I have two quotes. The first one is a little tougher than the last one is just for Will. So here we go. If food is the body of good living, wine is the soul. Yahoo. I think Andy will appreciate that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So if wine is my soul.
No, if food is the body of good living, wine is the soul.
That's what I just said.
All right.
Wine is my soul.
Yep. Second quote, wine, because no great story started with someone eating a salad. So from We Know, Texas Vino, this is Michael.
This is Will.
Wino Guy.
Cheers.